As Indigenous women in Parliament, how do you both feel when it comes to being the voice of the voiceless in the Indigenous community?
Jacinta.
Thank you for that question. I'm Australian to begin with, and I have a Warrapari mother and a white Australian father. But first of all, I am Australian. I do have a lot of family who are part of some of the most marginalised Aboriginal people in the country. And so they're the very reason why I've pushed so hard to be a representative for them, because a lot of the issues that they're confronted with in communities that are out of sight, out of mind, to the cities on the East Coast, to Canberra itself, I do find it frustrating at times, because I find that Indigenous issues have been presented in particular narratives, and that has been long-held narratives that I think need to change, to understand that we're all individuals in our own right. We should be treated as such, and we shouldn't be treated separately, as a separate entity, as a separate race to the rest of the nation, because we are Australian citizens. And I took a group of people from remote communities in the Northern Territory to Parliament last week so that their voices could be heard in the current debate, because Bush blackfellas are often not given the opportunity to speak. They have difficulty sometimes talking because English is not a first language to them. But they want to be heard, they want to be part of the debate as well. And that particular group it understood that they don't support the referendum. And they would have loved to have had someone like Malarndirri there
I'll just ask
to talk to them too. But Labor didn't show up to listen to them. So I'm frustrated at times. But it doesn't mean I stop pushing and pushing for those ones, particularly in those communities, who are often sidelined or exploited.
We're almost out, almost out of time.
Can I answer the question directly? I am a Yanyuwa woman, and I thank you for that question. But I'm here as the Senator for the Northern Territory, representing all Territorians, and I stand as one of the over 70 senators in the Australian Senate to represent all Australians. But the pressures of having to deal with trying to solve all the First Nations issues still falls on me, along with me also having to assist my other constituents, whether it's the cattle industry, whether it's the ranger industry, whether it's school teachers, health workers, all of these areas that are just as important. And I want to see First Nations people have their voice enshrined in the Constitution so they can speak for themselves, so that we can go on and do whatever it is we're here to do as part of our political parties. I stand as a proud member of the Labor Party, but I want First Nations people in this country to stand, whether they stand for a party, whether they stand for the voice, I want them to rise above their own poverty and oppression. And this is the way that I see we can assist in them doing so.